everyone. I'm working on a fox design for my Etsy store this week, and I thought I would show you a little bit about how I come up with the design and also how I turn it into an applique. So first of all, when I'm working on my design, I'm not an artist, and so to draw something is a little bit of a challenge for me, and so I just look at different images. I may even go onto Google Images and look at some, I'll just put in fox line drawings, or looking at different maybe coloring books, or just different ideas on what a fox looks like. I knew I wanted just a face, but I also wanted to put his tail in. And also when I'm working on a design that I know I'm going to be cutting pieces of fabric out, I want to have it not to be super complicated and just distinct lines, and just make it a little bit easier to do the actual cutting and drawing on the fabric, and also the sewing. You just kind of have to keep it all in a little bit of in your head when you're doing the design. And so this is the one I came up with. And again, like I said, I just kind of combined a couple, or just got inspiration off of a couple other images, and just kind of, I thought he was cute. I love his big eyes. And I know that I'm going to want to, when I actually do the sewing, I'll want to draw the eyelashes on with my thread just when I free motion. So yeah, that's how it turned out. So once I use a pencil, and once I actually draw the sketch and I like it, I go ahead and just draw with a Sharpie to outline it, and then I flip my piece of paper over, use a Sharpie on the reversed side. I'm using two different colors. I'm using like just a real pretty cream colored fabric that's just got a little bit of the it's got a little bit of the orange in it, or the rust color in it, and then this is the actual color of the fox. I have very little of this left. I think I only got a half a yard, but I've been making things with my little fox design. Actually, I'll show you right now what I've kind of been working on already this week. I'm thinking today I'm gonna make a pillow out of a different size pillow out of this one, because I already made one pillow and it's just kind of a long, kind of like a neck roll pillow, but I thought it'd be really cute sitting on with a cluster of other accent pillows, or in a little basket, or something fun. This particular design, I added some stitches with my some decorative stitches with my sewing machine. Here's bring it up a little bit, little heart design, and then this I also wrote with my Be Brave. I wrote with my sewing machine on that one. So that was that, and then I did a little backpack. This is like a I buy these backpacks already made. They're like a cinch sack, and then I decorate them. I added, again, the design, a couple hearts, put some hearts up here, and I also put a 1-inch button, fox button. I know it's gonna glare. I have a button machine so this is just on a pin back. So that's really fun. And then I just love the details of being able to add, like I just put a little bead dangle on the zipper. So and these are all in my Etsy shop. I'll link down below the listing so you can take a look. And then I made this cute little zipper pouch, just a little simple zipper pouch, and I put the same fabric on the inside. Yeah, so that was fun. So what I do first of all is I trace my design on the Heat-n-Bond. I have a full one that's already in the package here too. This is the Heat-n-Bond Lite, and I get it. I just get this at Walmart. They do have the Heat-n-Bond, regular Heat-n-Bond also, that comes in the red package. You do not want that. You're not going to be able to sew with that. And so the Heat-n-Bond Lite, and I just roll it out and just cover it. Actually, just go ahead and I just, without wasting my Heat-n-Bond, I draw out all the pieces that I'm going to need in that lighter color. Little tip on his tail is white, or the cream. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then also his little mouth. Now I had, this is a fox, like I mentioned before. This fox design has been so popular for the last, probably at least a couple years, maybe 3 years. You see it all over the place. And I just kind of have been, I don't really like this. I have been kind of a little hesitant, or not hesitant, I had a really traumatic experience with the fox when I was quite young. I think I was probably, I don't know, I was probably 9 or 10. Now I'm going on to, and this is, I'm going to write cream on this so I don't mess up when I'm doing my, actually ironing. I'm going to go on to the dark rust color. I grew up on a dairy farm and my mom raised chickens. And it was my responsibility as a child to take care of the baby chickens. So I locked them up at night, I let them out in the morning, and I also fed them. Okay, and I got pretty attached to these chickens. Growing up on a very isolated kind of rural farm, you tend to, yeah, anyway. So I think you can probably maybe, without going into any details, maybe figure out what my trauma was and why I have a pretty high regard or respect for the old fox. But also, we've been having a lot of fox kind of running across our lake or frozen lake here in Minnesota. There's one particular fox that's been hanging around, and I tell you, it's just gorgeous. Especially you see the contrast in the colors between the fox and the white snow. And so I thought, I am going to be brave, like my little thing says, be brave, and I'm going to put my trauma behind me, and I'm going to do a cute little fox. So I've got the design, I think, pretty much all what I need. Let me see here. Yeah, drawn out. I'm going to do the next part is over to the ironing board, and I'll show you that step next. Okay, I am going to start ironing. A little bit about the iron. I have it set on not quite to cotton. Cotton is a little bit hot, even though this is a cotton fabric. And I just kind of, I mean, I have not hardly any of this left, but I'm just kind of laying this out. This is my design that I want cut out, so I'm just going to lay it on there. And this literally takes seconds to get that Heat-n-Bond adhered to the back side of your cotton fabric. And that one's done. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be ironing all my designs onto the fabric. My next is going to be the back side of my cream fabric. I forgot about the nose. So I did draw out a little piece of my, just a little nose on a little piece of the Heat-n-Bond. And because it's such a small piece, I'm going to dig into my scrap bag. I keep all my scraps and I sort them by color. So this is my black bag, and I've got just tons of just black pieces of fabric, and many of them already have the Heat-n-Bond on the back of them. But I don't want to take out another piece. So I'm just going to use this, and I'm just going to adhere this little piece right on the back side, right on top of the other Heat-n-Bond. The reason why I'm doing that is just so that I can get the design. Design is all, I can cut it out just by using that little drawing on there. So the next step is cutting, and I just fussy cut. I've decided to make a 12 by 12 pillow, little accent pillow. And to do that, I am going to, my middle piece where the fox's head is going to be measures 7 inches across and 13 inches this way, and I'll be taking 1/2 inch seams. And then the 2 strips on the side, I just cut 3.5 inches, and then the full length. I usually cut my strips a little bit longer, so I think I cut them at 14 inches. I just do that just to make sure everything, and then I just cut it or trim it after I have it sewn. And then I always put a piece of fleece on the back of the front of my pillows. And then I have, and that is, I cut again larger then, and then I'll trim it down. And then the backing is a 13 by 13 inch square. So I'm not going to be using the back quite yet, and I'm working on the front. So I've got my little fox design all cut out. And I'm going to be laying it on the little piece, and I'll probably just zoom or just speed through this too, so you don't have to spend all your time watching this. Okay, everything is laid out kind of the way I want it. I realize that the fox tail is probably not going to fit here. It's going to get cut off. And so I think I might put this on the back side of the pillow. I just think it might kind of add a little whimsy to have the tail back there. So we'll see how that works. But I've got the little face on. Now I just peeled off all the paper. I don't think you probably saw me kind of peel off the paper. And then now this is going to just adhere right to this. I'm just going to be able to iron it right onto this and keep it in place while I take it to the sewing machine. These eyes I cut out of part of this fleece, and I'm not going to iron these on. The iron is just going to kind of melt this, so I don't want to do that. But the rest of this now I think is in place, and I can just stick my iron on it. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and take this to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew these strips on here first, and then I'll be back. I tried to get the tail to work on the back side, and it kind of didn't work. And I didn't have enough fabric to make a bigger tail, and so instead I just added a heart on the back, and then I carried it through and added 3 little hearts on the side, and that just adds a little bit to it. The next, I'm going to stick these eyes on, and in order to put these on, and I think I'm going to just use a little bit of a basting spray, and I've got I use a 505 spray and fix, and this is kind of messy, but I just put it in I'll just put them in this little, it's kind of like a top of a box that I have lined with just some freezer paper, and I'm just going to spray it right on in the box. So this spray gets everywhere, so you want to kind of contain it as best you can. And I'm going to stick my little eyes on. I've already trimmed the front of my pillow, and I am going to be taking it to the sewing machine next and stitching all this on using a free motion technique in black thread. This fleece will be on the back side of this front, and I'm going to be stitching right through this, just taking it to the sewing machine like this, and that'll add a nice little, just a little bit more structure to it in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up at the sewing machine so you can kind of see me actually working and drawing with my thread. I'll be right back. I'm at my sewing machine, and I have the sewing machine set just on regular straight stitch, but I have dropped the feed dogs, and now I'm going to put on my foot. It's the free motion foot. You want to make sure that your thumb screw is secure. It has a way of loosening up when you free motion, so I just want to make sure that this is nice and tight. And then I'm ready to go, and I'm going to place my piece underneath, lower my foot. You want to make sure there's just enough room. There's like a little thumb screw here that you can make the foot higher or lower. But you just want to be able to just easily move it. So I'm going to go ahead and just relax, and you can just see me work. Okay, I think that is it. Was able to draw on a little bit of the eyelashes, and then I also drew in the pupils, or the darker part of the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and trim this up and clip my threads, and also do the free motion heart on the back of it. In my next part 2 of this video, I will go ahead and complete the pillow, show you how I stuff it and turn it and stuff it, and how I actually securely close the pillow, my little accent pillows also. So I hope you enjoyed this, hope you learned a little bit of something new, and I hope you have a chance to create today. Thanks so much. Bye.